Yeah, I'm just going to try this again. Yeah. Just going to see if anybody can hear me. Please let me know if you can hear anything. Can you? So you can. Is okay. Okay. So okay. So I don't know what happened then, Vlad, but I think after, I don't know, all like my settings, I don't think I restarted my Mac. So the stream cut when OBS crashed. So when it cut earlier on, just the street, like obviously OBS crashed and then everything just fell apart from then. So I don't know, I restarted the system, restarted everything, and then I did another live stream and it wouldn't let anybody comment. So anyway, let's crack on. I'm just gonna see if I can grab some of these links and just repost it real quick to Facebook. Just give me 2 seconds. Can I delete that? But yeah, so sorry about that. I don't know what that was about. So just give me 2 seconds. So hopefully this should be good. Well, at least if you can hear me, that's fine. I can do some more tests in the, once we've done whatever, and try and sort out what that could have been. But hopefully it's just a case of restarting it, right? And that's that. And hopefully we can just move on. At the very least, we can just crack on, look at some images, and get this done. But yeah. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. Weird. Let's have a look. So let's get this pulled in, sort this out, close this down. Okay. I know, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. You can even hear me. I know, Vlad, right? That's the definitely no gate on now. Definitely no gate on now. But anyway, yeah, thank you for coming back, guys. I'm really sorry about that. I don't know. I have really actually no idea as to why that didn't work, other than the fact that I made a bunch of changes to OBS and then didn't restart the system, so hence why it crashed. And then so hopefully me just restarting everything has kind of fixed it. But yeah, we shall crack on. Okay, so let's have a look what we got here. So yeah, just jumping in. I didn't have a ton of news to kind of go over this week, and yeah, I didn't have a ton of news this week. I've been pretty busy this week as well, one thing or another. But last week I did get invited up to the AP Awards, which is the Amateur Photographer Awards or event thing. And that's kind of been a big industry event for many years, right? And the reason for that is because amateur photographer, I think, has been going for 140 years, if you can believe that. I see. I'm saying it out loud. 140 years. I still need I need to double check that. And these guys do like a weekly magazine, if you can believe that, print, right? So like these guys have been a major force in the industry for a long time, and they have a huge readership. It's nuts. And Rhodolite kindly invited along with them last week up to the awards, and it was an awesome do, man. Yeah, it was like 250 people there. Like I said, it was mainly industry, so it wasn't wall-to-wall photographers or anything like that, because it was mainly people from the industry. So like Sony, Fuji, Canon, like all those types of industry people, as opposed to photographers like myself. So it was cool to be there and hang out and that sort of thing. And a couple of things that like their awards and that sort of thing. I just wanted to quickly go over them and just to get kind of your thoughts on it, man. So AP Awards 2024, the best cameras of the year. So they put, this was kind of nuts, right? So this is like the Reader's Choice. So the Nikon ZF, the Reader's Choice. So I'm trying to think, I guess you got to think like the readership of the magazine as well. But it's interesting to see the Nikon ZF coming in there, because like £2,300 for a camera, like it's I don't know, I haven't used it, I can't comment, but that's a lot of money for that camera, in my opinion. So it's interesting to see that one come so highly. They had vlogging camera of the year, the Sony ZV Mark II. I wouldn't know anything about that, but they were raving about some of the characteristics in terms of the quality versus the flip-up screen that you can see yourself and all that sort of thing. This I thought was pretty funny. The drone camera of the year, DJI Mavic 3 Pro, like because so DJI bought Hasselblad. This was years ago, right? And DJI being like this Chinese company or Chinese owned, and it's funny to see them slapping Hasselblad on the front of these drones. I didn't know they were doing that, but pretty funny, man. I mean, look, you bought the company, you may as well use it, right? But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. So what else do we have here? They also had video camera of the year, the Panasonic Lumix, again the S5 2X. I mean, wish somebody would do something with these names, but again, yeah. I mean, it seems for what it can do, it doesn't seem a crazy price. So I don't know what they class as like video camera. I mean, like all of them can shoot video, so I wonder what they're looking at specifically. The affordable camera, which was the Canon had a rough time of it up there this year. They didn't win much, got to say, but yeah, you had the consumer camera of the year, which is the Fuji X S20. Again, I haven't actually held this one, so anything like it, but 1,200 quid for this one. I mean, these comments are great. Battery life, great image quality. I mean, for sure you could apply that to pretty much every modern camera. But again, what's the definition of consumer camera? Like, what is that? What does that mean? I don't really know what that like. I don't know what the definition of consumer camera is. Yeah. So I've challenged whilst on the stream. I'm gonna edit one of my Rotolite pics and then post it in the Facebook post. Nice. Yeah. What's going on here? Elizabeth, how you doing? You would love that Lumix, really? Have you heard of it then, Liz? Have you heard of it? What's so good about it? That's a genuine question. Like, honestly, yeah. Reliable phase hybrid, rocksteady body stabilization. So okay, so they're looking at things interesting. Okay, they're looking at things like that for video. I mean, yeah. Again, I'm not a video shooter, so it's tough for me to comment on that. But I was just kind of curious as to what they would class as like makes it a better video camera. Both cameras can still shoot 24 megapixel with a very usable 96 megapixel multi-shot mode. Also, I mean, that seems also available in 6K. I mean, yeah, it's pretty powerful stuff, right? Are you a Lumix girl for life? Okay, nice. Okay. Hey, Kat, how you doing? ZV stuff is a great lineup. Okay. So consumer camera of the year. Yeah, again, I don't know what that means. Like, I guess, yeah. Enthusiast camera. Here we go. Here you go, Liz. Here's another one. Another Lumix for you there. That's like these things are a lot of money for these kind of cameras that are like not. I mean, I suppose all of them could be used by pros. That's just, I guess, that just seems like a lot for that camera. We got to the compact camera of the year, like Q3. I mean, really, like, why we like it? Superb raw image quality, much improved autofocus, engaging dial LED controls, useful tilting screen. Look, nobody is buying a Leica for any of these things, right? Nobody's buying a Leica for any of these things. I mean, look, maybe if I spent a couple of days with it, maybe I would fall under its spell as well. I mean, it looks beautiful, and you could have that, in your pocket and that sort of thing. Again, I don't get the price for that. Like Hasselblad price, do you know what? Like I'm not a camera snob, but there is something about Hasselblads and the quality of those shots that I can't really put my finger on, right? And I'm not saying I could spot a Hasselblad shot, in a lineup, but there's definitely something about them, and I can kind of justify their prices. But the Leicas are always kind of struggle with it. Professional camera of the year. So I mean, this was kind of no real surprise. I got to say, because I mean the GFX 100 was outstanding, and obviously number 2, insane. And the reason mainly it's insane is for the price that you're like here. You were definitely getting a lot of camera. Medium format. I say medium format in air quotes because it's only a little bit bigger than sort of standard size, but still an outstanding camera for sure. And I haven't checked actually, but I wonder what the price of a secondhand GFX 101, like the first one is. I wonder what it is. I wonder if there was a bunch of people that have kind of upgraded. I think if you would need to have a lot of money to go, I've already got the first GFX 100, I definitely need the second one. I don't think there's enough there to warrant the step up to the second one, but still, like the first camera is gorgeous, and if you did see like a half decent price on a secondhand one, I would definitely think about it. And I'm really thinking out loud as I was saying that. I'm thinking I should really keep an eye out. See what's anything in there for that. Innovation of the year was a Sony Alpha A9 III, and this was really for the global shutter thing. And again, I'm just going to come out and say it. Like if you got $6,000, it's just no. I mean, granted, this is more. This is a little bit more, but yeah, for me, if I had $6,000 and it was like, to kind of waste on a camera, then it's just no way. Global shutter or not, there's just no way I'm going for that Sony over the Fuji personally. Like that's what Fuji have really done to kind of shake up the industry with this. They're really trying to get people to kind of step up to that, because like they've gone from APS-C, right? Like Fuji was known for years and years and years making beautiful cameras from those smaller sensors, and now they've just jumped, like leapfrogged into the medium format. They're not even bothering with full frame. They've just gone straight up to these. So yeah, like personally, I know everybody likes to just herald like the global shutter as the be all and end all. I'm not personally convinced on it. Will it make certain things easier? Sure. I don't think it's going to be this revolution of the industry that people make it out to be. And again, yeah, it's just me, and I don't have a horse in either of these races. But if I had that sort of money to put down on a camera, I would definitely find the extra change to get the GFX, no question. Yeah. I think that was. Oh yeah, this was kind of because this was a big drum roll for this one. I was blown away by this premium camera of the year, Z8. That's like, I need to get on board with these things because everybody was singing their praises. Yeah. So, yeah, and again, I mean, $4,000. That's just the price of things now, I guess. Yeah. Crazy, absolutely crazy. So yeah, I think that was it for those. What are your thoughts on those? Anybody got any issues with any of those choices? Anybody think that's crazy? I mean, what I know about new cameras of the last 12 months, you could write on the back of a fag packet. So it's not really, I'm not really the best person to ask. But I was genuinely surprised about the Nikons. I gotta say it. I know they have like this kind of meme reputation online, and I'm not wrong. Like Nikon / potato, like Nikon is not known for innovation by any stretch of the imagination, and they're always the last to the table on all these things. But I use them for the color quality that they give and the image quality that they give in a studio setting. That's why I use them. I don't need I don't use 99% of the features on it. But yeah, it's kind of interesting to see Nikon even in the race. I'll be totally honest with you. Yeah, I was actually surprised to see Nikon was even in the race. Yeah. I'm glad, Kat. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I'm glad you're doing well. Liz says all that power, itty bitty camera. Yeah, to be fair, Liz, yeah, when I was reading those stats, I was definitely surprised at, where was it? Where was the Lumix? Yeah, because I was looking at this, and I was like, you know, look at the little point and shoot job there, and then I'm reading the stats. Like, you're not wrong. Like, they have packed a ton into that little body. Yeah, yeah. And again, coming in at, you know, certainly in terms of what you get, bang for your buck wise, doing well. Yeah. Like a main quality, decent menu. Really, they just got nice menus, right? Hasselblad bigger sensors. Yeah, I mean, like the sensor. It's also the lenses though. Like the lenses that the Hasselblads have are just absolutely beautiful. You know, they they have that kind of magic source. The Fuji, Fuji was kind of like the new Hasselblad in terms of their lens source that they managed to put out there, and you know, it gets you. You can look at any of those little Fuji cameras and you look at it on paper and you're like, it's okay, and then you take a picture and you're just like, God damn, that is beautiful, you know. So they are kind of those little Fuji cameras are almost greater than the sum of their parts to a certain extent. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Maybe if I didn't have a mortgage, maybe 7K would be a problem. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know who's buying all these cameras. I will say that Little Bird told me that the, you know, camera industry has seen a huge dip in the last 12 months, and I mean, yeah, you know, granted, that was specifically talking about the UK here, so our economy is taking a long time to bounce back, but you know, yeah, I think you know, anybody looking at these cameras is like, this is a lot of money. Yeah. But keep in mind the Nikon Z won't focus on autofocus era lenses. Won't focus on. So you mean you can only buy a Z lens, right? That only work with like a handful of lenses, right, Vlad? Yeah. Nikon's marketing is potato. Yeah. Nikon. No, Wayne, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, it is. I get it. Like, it is a bit of a meme, right? But I don't know. Again, I think it's one of those things where you just have to shoot with it. Hence why I still use them, right? You know, I used Wayne in chat there. We used to use Canon 5D Mark II. We used to use that in the studio for years. The thing was an absolute beast, but it does kind of struggle with these blank areas of data, i.e. a studio background, right? I mean, you give those Canon cameras detail to munch on, and it's beautiful, right? You know, if I was a wedding shooter, I would switch to Canon tomorrow, no question. But yeah, that's not what I use them for. Yeah, so there is, I think with all these things, once you get into the weeds of it, it's just down to the kind of personal preference of it. Why are you surprised Nikon was in the race? Is there anything against him? No, Kat. No. I was just. I mean, yeah, like I've been speaking, you know, I use them for the reasons that I've just mentioned. But like that is the meme on the internet, is that the Nikons are the potatoes, and their marketing is so dated. It's painful. Like, it's so, like, did you see their not anti AI, but their anti AI marketing was just like, oh god, it's so cringe. It was just trying so hard, but yeah, I don't think they've got anybody in the marketing team under the age of 55. I shouldn't think. Nikon's are really heavy compared to a lot of brands. Is that right, Alan? Yeah. Do you know what? It's not something I've really thought about, but I will say that, yeah, I did a couple of shoots a few weeks ago, and they were like 6 hours, and I had, which is not like, oh my god, Jay, you had to work for 6 hours. You okay? It was, you know, it was a couple of bigger lenses, and I was doing stuff where I was holding stuff in front of the lenses, so I was kind of holding it with one hand. And I will tell you, man, yeah, it was at least like a couple of days afterwards, like hand and wrist were aching. So like I can see why people kind of switch to these mirrorless ones, where it's just significantly lighter if you're going to be, you know, using it for a long period of time. But I have to say, it was like the first time I was like, you know what, that's getting to be a pain in the ass. Yeah. I have tinnitus in each arm, so big Nikon and Canon is no for me. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I am not for tripod fans. So more of a comedy sketch portrait photographer. Give me trouble. Yeah, I mean, I totally get it, Liz. Yeah, no, I totally get it. And yeah, like I just said, yeah, those the D850, especially if you put like 24 to 70 zoom on there, you know, it's you know, and then you're holding it in portrait mode, and then you got like the filter housing on the front as well, and just like, Jesus Christ, yeah, I get it, I totally get it. I mean, 80s and 90s lenses that have autofocus based on that screw on the side won't autofocus on the okay, so like the vast majority of their lenses then, so yeah, when Nikon was in its heyday, all of those lenses, yeah, won't work. Okay. Just says, to buy one of the cameras, I'd have to contemplate selling a kidney or two. I mean, it doesn't have to be mine, right? Yeah, true. Yeah, well, I mean, one of your kids, that's fine. You know, they're young. They all bounce back. You know. What have you got, Kat? Are you team potato as well? I'm there with you. Like, don't let them get you down. Like, they're just jealous. They're just jealous that we can create beautiful images even with a handicap. You know, we don't need to cheat like the rest of them, Cat. Like I says, I lucked into my first camera being a Nikon Z9. Oh, nice, yeah, because I've already bought it and then broke its elbow. I mean, whatever it takes, Michael, right? I'm sure he'll forgive you. I'm leaning on one. It's quite the steep curve, yeah. If I had to pick just one camera brand for the rest of my life, what would it be? If you had to pick one camera brand... That's tough, man. That is tough. It's all very well for me to say that I like Nikon now, but they can't be. I mean, they do seem to be getting. They do seem to be getting better. Oh, that's a bad example, but you know, like the other one here at the bottom. They do seem to be getting better, but I would not want to put any money at all on them still being here in 20 years, right? Oh God. I don't know. Probably Fuji, I guess. I feel that like this sort of thing is inevitable, I think, right? It is inevitable. And from what I've heard, the lenses that are made for the GFXs, right? The lenses that are made for them, because as you know, light comes into this circular lens and then it projects a circle on the back of the camera, right? And then the square-ish sensor is in the middle of that circle. So from what I've heard, these lenses produce a far larger circle than they need to for these camera bodies, which tells me that their intention is to, you know, understandably grow the chip in the back of these over time. And it would be my guess that, yeah, the chip in the back here, let me see if I can just grab my screen brush. Where is it? Oh, I can grab it here. Here you go. So yeah, so like they are projecting a far bigger circle back here. So at the moment, you know, you've got your chip back there. My guess is that their chips are going to get even bigger. Because at the moment, as much as I love them, like these chips aren't much bigger than full frame 35mm, right? It's not like the yeah. So I've got whatever it is up there, Pentax 6.7 or something up there. I mean, it's just incredible, like the actual quality that you get, and that's just a film camera. So I would maybe be thinking about these guys long term. Be interested to see what they do with it. Yeah. I have a Z6 and a 1.8 Z lenses. A bit tiny for me, but man, these Z lenses are great. Yeah, I keep hearing good things about those lenses. You know, I can't deny it. Yeah. If you don't say Sony for your camera choice, I cook. You're kidding, right, Wayne? You are kidding. Yeah. If you want to bow down to the masses, get the Sony like everybody else, that's fine, man. That's fine. If you need the crutch, just say it. Just say it. Obviously the Sonys are excellent. Yeah, they are. I thought Nikon have big chips as they are potatoes. Wow, Alan. Wow. Savage. I'm moving on. So AP Awards for the best lenses. So prime lens of the year, the Sigma. This was great to see actually. The prime lens of the year, Sigma 50mm 1.4, and I mean, I know it seems like crazy money, but 849 here for 1.4. That's not unreasonable. And like these Sigma lenses are just going from strength to strength. I'm old enough to remember Sigma being the potato brand. You know, Sigma being like lol. You know, third party. Sigma, Tamron, all those sorts of ones. And I'm not poo-pooing people who have Tamron or anything like that. You know. It's just a lens at the end of the day. If you're getting good shots, it doesn't matter how you got it. But Sigma definitely used to be the underdog. And they have really just come back crazily. And good for them. So, there's hope for Nikon yet, right? If Sigma can do it, there's hope for Nikon yet. Telephoto prime lens of the year. Nikon again. Just slaying out here. So, telephoto prime lens of the year. Nikon Z 85mm 1.2. $3,000. I mean, it needs to be good, right? It needs to be good. Yeah. $3,000 good though? I don't know. For what? An 85? 85. Jesus. Yeah. Like spending $3 or $4,000 on a camera, you can kind of justify, right? And for the lenses, I just find it for these ones like 85mm for one specific length. It's a lot of money, man. A lot of money. But beautiful bokeh. What more do you need? What do we got here? Macro lens of the year. OM system. I remember this coming up and everybody going, "You what?" The OM system, 90mm f3.5 macro. So didn't they change? That's right. Didn't Olympus have this crazy lawsuit a couple of years ago? Does anybody remember that? Olympus got in some hot water. They had to like sell the company, and they just reopened under OM system. Am I remembering that correctly? I remember there being like wasn't the CIO like laundering money or something, or I forget. Yeah, it was pretty dodgy. Yeah, it was pretty dodgy. Anyway, so Olympus back making waves. What else we got here? We got the wide angle zoom lens of the year from Sony FE 16 to 35mm f2.8 GM2. I mean, we got £2,400 here, so yeah, I guess if you're in the market for that, still though, I don't know, 16 to 35, 2.8. I don't know. I kind of feel like you want it to be a little bit faster for that money, personally, but 2.8 is fine for most people, I guess. We got standard zoom lens of the year, Sony FE 20 to 70 f4. I was definitely surprised at this, right? I'm just going to come out and say it. f4, right? Isn't that like it? Am I the only one that's surprised at that? f4, 20 to 70mm. I just really feel like that it's got to at least be f2.8 for that sort of money, in my opinion. Right? I mean, who's shooting at f4? No offense, right? I don't know. I was just, I do remember this coming up and going f4, and maybe that's just me being a shallow depth of field snob, but I feel like I was expecting another stop there personally. Yeah. What we got here? Hey Anders, you are lucky that you missed the start of the party because we had some technical issues. Everybody's ears stopped working and they couldn't hear me. It was kind of weird. Vivitar lenses, yes, that's right, Alan. I forgot about those. Vivitar, yeah. God, they don't still exist, right? Sujino said I have an old Sigma potato lens, but I never use because potato, obviously. So like one of the old Sigma lenses, right? Yeah, I think like we had one at our college or something like that, but. Yeah, they were pretty poor before, but then it really kicked off with Sigma's art line of lenses, and they would just blew everybody's socks off. Yeah, they just brought out the new line of art lenses. It was nuts. Yeah. I love my £100 art lens for my old Lumix G1 by Sigma. You never got a Sigma art lens for £100, really? That's pretty good going, man. Yeah. I can't justify the price jump of the 1.2 compared to the 1.4. As you pay a lot for that. Once you get down into those numbers, yeah, they are. Yeah, you have to pay so much for half a stop. Yeah. Was 1.2 to 1.4 like third of a stop or something? Yeah, it's just crazy. Someone bought them. Is that right, Thomas? Someone bought them. I mean, I guess that would make sense. Yeah, I guess that would make sense. They probably had to sell, yeah. I think so, but I can also use the 3/4 Olympus So Cloud. They survived. Right, true. Okay, yeah, you can still use those. That's true, yeah. Yeah, they had a huge scandal in Japan. That's right. There's even documentaries about it, but I forgot. Yeah, same, you know. So yeah, but there was a big hoo-ha of like some of the somebody at the top of the food chain was doing something dodgy. Yeah. Your camera club loves f4. Yeah, look, I'm totally being an art snob for sure. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been above f2.8 in a long time, so but look, I guess it's fine. Alan says got to be at least 2.8 with 10 ROMs. That's what I mean. I just think today like 2.8 is base really. That's just me. Yeah. Raymond says it was painful buying my RF85 1.2, but it's an absolute amazing lens. Hey, look, if you're happy with the results, man, I mean, nobody can take that from you. And there are people that swear by it. I mean, I use my Nikon 105, and it's called it's like a defocus lens. It's like one of the old ones. Nikon 105mm. What defocus? It's like a weird lens. Yeah, this thing here. Yeah, this whole beast here. This thing is gorgeous, like absolutely beautiful. What's even better is that I managed to get it secondhand for a crazy price. But it's one of those things where you kind of find something that you fall in love with, and it's just like if you just love the look, then yeah, like this f.2, especially. I mean, I don't really mess around with these things here, but these lenses are so cheap now because it's got defocus written on the lens. I think it just put everybody off. It was again like Nikon marketing, man. Just do not put defocus on the side of your nice lens. Like, just use your brain. Don't call it that. Because everybody was like, I'm not buying that. But yeah, I mean, like, there are some gems out there for sure. Yeah. For all the lighthouses they photograph. Oh, Liz coming in strong, man. Woo, damn. Look, camera clubs are the backbone of this country's great photographic industry. I wish there were more camera clubs, but I wish that they were a little bit more inclusive, I was surprised to see there's a lot of these kinds of f4 lenses by Zeiss amount, and they're still selling quite expensive on eBay. Maybe I'm in the wrong then, maybe I need to test them. Maybe I need to go, and try them out. But yeah, yeah, it's going to be, it would take a lot of convincing, I'll be honest. Yeah. It's at 1.7 to 2.8 mostly. Yeah, right. I love this because it goes to f2, and you can definitely see the difference between f2 and f2.8 for sure. Thomas says I'm using f4 with strobes and 0.95 manual lens with natural light, but it lacks color for some reason. I wonder if that's the 0.95. I mean, it could be flare in the only reason why you're getting those lack of colors, in my opinion and in my experience, is based on flare coming into the lens. It's not necessarily a bad thing, yeah, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, you just got to be mindful that it's happening. Yeah. Sigma also produced quite some time ago 105 f1.4. Really? Yeah. 105 is tough to beat. We were kind of chatting yesterday about the difference between like a portrait and a beauty shot, right? And I was like, kind of, portrait is kind of here, and like beauty is coming in here. If you're doing any sort of close beauty work, it's like 105 is mandatory, man. You will not go back after you've used it. If you're doing any sort of beauty or anything like that, 105 is just stunning. Yeah. There's too much good stuff about that defocus. Honestly, Vlad, yeah, if you get the opportunity to test it, it is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, the drop off is instant. Yeah, so good. Yeah. What is defocus, please? So it's kind of, so there's this ring here, right, that you can kind of adjust, and at the time it was kind of designed to give you more bokeh, either like before or like but behind or in front. I don't know whether this can go into it here. So you would, but you really need to be pixel peaking to kind of see it. I just don't bother. So it didn't really take off. But I mean, if Ken doesn't go into it, then nobody will. Yeah. But yeah, that was the intention. So you have your aperture, and then you kind of put this, so either front or so forward or rear, and then it would kind of defocus behind it, and you could kind of get different types of bokeh and all that sort of stuff. But it had to be real specific, like everything had to align. You had to have like the perfect background behind the subject for it to really even show up. So it kind of didn't really affect. So here you go, you see it here. So Nikon 105 DC at f2, defocus control set to rear, right? So set to 0, which is where I normally have mine, and then set to front. Okay, so look here, up here, right? So the bokeh gets more kind of halo-y, so it's more defined, right? So you look at that bokeh there when it's set to front, which means that it's thrown almost more out of focus back there in kind of a weird way. So you see it like versus here, right? So it's more buttery here, and then the bokeh here is more defined. But like I said, like all the stars kind of have to align for you to even see anything, right? So I occasionally just throw it on, but unless you're doing like side by side like this and pixel peaking, you just like you're not gonna, yeah, you're not really gonna see it. But like it just never sold because they wrote defocus on the damn lens. So you can pick these up for like next to nothing. I got mine for a couple £100, I think, So it was actually, yeah, beautiful quality lens, just incredible quality lens. And if I'm doing beauty or anything like that, I just don't even consider it anything else. Yeah. I also have an old Nikon 80 to 200 push-pull. Oh, really? One of the old? Yeah, that's right. I forgot they did that, Vlad. That was crazy, right? I don't have it here, but like those of you who are not aware, like now we like zoom by like turning it, understandably, right? Whereas the Nikon ones were like you zoom in by like literally like a telescope, like an old telescope. So people give Nikon shit, but I mean, like if you want to stand there like a pirate and zoom in like a telescope, then Nikon's the brand for you, But like the old push pull zoom was. It's difficult to get the fine tune. It was either out or in. It was like kind of tricky to get the in between zooms. Yeah. Can't Google it right now. Yeah, no worries. I'm using it for my black and white photos. The lens is fine, but it's flaring like disco. Oh, okay. Oh, you were joking about that, but so I mean, yeah, but. If you do have like some of these older really wide lenses, like my granddad had some old cameras, and it's just like had this bizarre like super wide aperture. I was like, how is it so like 0 point something, and it's like and then you shoot it and it's just so milky, because it's just so much light is bouncing around in there. Yeah. Hate the push pulls. I can't mount it to a tripod. Yeah, true. Yeah. Speaking about bokeh, check the Sony FE100 2.8 smooth trans focus. I'm not taking the bait. Get some cream. Really, get some cream bokeh. Okay. Yeah, gonna get yourself arrested. Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look what else we've got going on here. So telephoto zoom lens of the year, Sigma again, 70 to 200 2.8. Right? So look, hear me out. So Sigma 70 to 200 2.8 1500. Sony 20 to 70, like it's not it's not crazy. F4 pretty much the same price. I'm telling you, man, Sigma absolutely slaying it right now. That is an unbelievable price for that 70 to 200. I'm not even memeing. I mean, what the older white Canon lenses are. They cost an arm and a leg for that. That's that one. Yeah. So like nothing crazy in here. Other than this one. I was a bit like, I don't know whether, unless there wasn't many other lenses, I would need to see what other lenses came out in that category for that year. But I was kind of a little bit sus on that one. But otherwise, yeah. And OM Systems, mate, making a comeback. Yeah. And the studio I use, bokeh backdrops, so for Camera Club judges thinks it's real. Are you serious, Liz? You haven't told them? That's hilarious. Yeah, that's nuts. Liz, you based in the UK, right? And Kat, you're here as well, I think, right? Have you guys heard of the Camera Club community group She Clicks? Because they won like Community of the Year, and they were up there talking, and it sounds like they're doing great stuff, man. Yeah, it sounds like they're doing some big things. Yeah, it's good. It's good to see them grow. Like 12,000 members or something like that, which is like a large. They do big meetups and that sort of thing. But yeah, I was it's great to see them growing so quickly, and the sort of like events and stuff that they did. I can't find it right now for some reason, but I'm sure it was right here, but maybe I missed it. Yeah, in the UK, yeah. I don't know. I don't know why I can't find it. I apologise. I swear it was here. I just wanted to pick it out. I really trust the voice. She Clicks, yeah. So obviously the ZF Reader's Choice. Yeah, Community of the Year. She Clicks. they got up on stage and they were talking about it, and talking about their community, and yeah, no, I thought it was great, because obviously only women in there doing it, and yeah, like some of the get-togethers that they were doing sounded pretty awesome. I just wondered if you guys had heard of it. Obviously, I'm not allowed to, know the ins and outs of it, but it was, great to hear them talking about it, and obviously great to see more and more women getting into it. Because look, let's be honest, it's been so male dominated for decades, and I always love seeing on my workshops when we have a bunch of ladies there, and in some of the recent workshops I've had, there has actually been 50% men, 50% women. It's been nuts. It's been awesome to see. Yeah, it's been really good. Now, whether that's because women are more open to receive education and training than men, who will just like bang their heads against the wall, I don't know. But either way, yeah, it was certainly great to see them have a presence there, for sure. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, look into it. Yeah, do. Yeah, it'd be good. So the Nikon Z8 won Product of the Year. Again, like, I need to look into this, because they were, like, some of the things that they were talking about, and I think some of you guys own, well, I know a bunch of you own the Z9, but some of you own the Z8 as well. I mean, like, some of the things it was doing was outstanding. Yeah, I mean, that lens looks kind of sus. That's definitely a kit lens to me, but yeah, I mean, it seemed to have some incredible stats. So if I can get my hands on it, I definitely will. Yeah. I wasn't going to bring it up, but I thought I would. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, thanks to Rotolite for getting me up there. Great event. Like I said, I mean, at the time I got back at like 4 a.m. in the morning, so it was a good time had by all, and I almost remember some of it. So I know I won't spend too long on this, because I know that we don't have, it's not all UK photographers in here watching, but who's going to the photo show this year, which is on the 16th to the 19th of March, so a couple of weeks. Who's going to the photo show here in the UK? Those of you that don't know, this is our one photo show really of any real note that we have each year here, and it's big, kind of up there in Birmingham, big event. I mean, I've been talking and demoing and stuff up there for years and years. I'm not talking this year or doing any demos, but I will be going up on the 18th, which is the Monday. So if you see me up there, then by all means say hi. It's all good. And then I'll probably do a meetup, maybe on like the Rhodolite stand, maybe like 2:00 or something like that. I'll finalize everything, but yeah, maybe do like a scheduled meetup, 2:00, Rhodolite stand. Yeah, that could work. If people want to come by and say hi or ask any questions or anything like that, then we can do that. But yeah, so yeah, not talking this year or doing any demos, which is looks like my prices finally put people off. But is anybody going up there for something specific, right? Is there something that I should be looking at? Because we got a bunch of speakers up here and demos and that sort of stuff from people. A lot of new young people in here as well, which is good. It's good to see young blood coming in. This is a terrible website. Where do you even, like, what's on for pros? So speaker lineup, I suppose you could look at that. Networking opportunities, the Pro Lounge. If anybody's wondering what happens in the Pro Lounge, nothing, absolutely nothing. Every year I go in there expecting something, and it's just a bunch of old dudes, usually drunk, in the corner. Yeah, I guess they I don't know, it doesn't seem very clear to me as to what's going on. Like, where's the map? Like, he's going up there. You're going on the Monday, Alan? Definitely say yeah. We're going up on the Monday. Yeah. You're going the Sunday, Liz? Okay. Steve, you're going what? What day are you going, Steve? Oh, you're a Brummy girl, are you, Liz? Nice. Jimmy says I'm not going. When you was there, didn't have money to spend on time, right? Yeah. When did you see me there then, Jamie? Did you see me at the Pixpro stage? Oh yeah, Tina will be there. I saw Tina was speaking again. Bless her. Yeah. I was going to see my friend Sean Robertson. She had to cancel. Gutted. What's she got going on that's better than that? It's an AI session on Monday. Should we go, Wayne? Should we go? Just heckle at the back. I'd love to. I'd be kind of curious to see how they would sell that, right? How are they going to sell AI? Because everybody's trying to jump on, like, AI bots can save your business and how to market and all that crap. Yeah, we can tell when an AI bot has sent us an email. Yeah, born yesterday. Talking of photo shows, have you heard of Click Live in Coventry in June? So, is that Click as in like the Click backgrounds? Is that what you mean? Or is that something else? Because I know Click is a large brand here that does a lot of studio backdrops and studio bits and pieces and that sort of thing. Yeah, it is. Yeah. God, what's his name that runs that? What's his name? It's escaped me for now. But yes, I know. I can't remember his name. It's killing me. But yes, I am. But I wasn't aware they had like an event thing. Yeah. You got to shoot on the Saturday. Okay, you got time to come up on the Monday then. Marketing the Pro Lounge as well as Nikon markets its product. Cat, I do my best. You get what you pay for, I guess. Am I right? All for Steve. Bloody hell, mate. Respect. Let's get Joe, big ginger goth dude. What? I'm sure I'd remember a big ginger goth dude. That's crazy. Yeah. Right. So yeah, I guess we'll try and find something to do up there on Monday. Should we try and find something to do? Where's the map? That's what I want to know. I want to plan my routes. Nothing. Oh, Wayne, I got your ticket, by the way. Yeah. I mean, mine came. So, you can either be jail queen, or you can be driver. If you want your free ticket, you got to be staff. So I'm sorry, mate, but that's what you got. Oh, are you? You're not shy, are you, Jamie? I don't believe that for a second. Yeah, probably won't be able to make it, but next year, hopefully. What's it like? Charlie Kaufman, thank you, Steve. God, that was killing me. Well done. That's exactly. Thank you. Well done. That's it. Yeah. Right. Let's have a look at that. So let's move on to a little bit of inspiration and stuff. So have you guys heard of this guy, Art Pete Repeat, or I think he's called Color Nerd or something like that on TikTok? For all you guys that are on TikTok, I know I have so many viewers that are TikTok fans, but this guy does some really cool stuff with color theory, and he's got tons of really, like, if you're into color theory and that sort of stuff, super nerdy. But glad you'll love it. He's done some crazy bits. You guys can't hear this actually. I haven't fixed the audio actually, so you can't hear this. I don't think. Yeah, no, you can't. Yeah. Maybe because it's muted. That would probably be it, Joe.
Primaries and lines them up exactly under their
that
complements. So here's a fun little way to demonstrate additive and subtractive primaries and their relationship. I've just cut out a slot and left the tab kind of like hanging at a 90-degree angle. So what happens is the slit decomposes my sort of simplified spectrum here into red, green, and blue, the three lights, and the shadow of the tab splits into the subtractive primaries and lines them up exactly under their complements. Okay, and with two slips of cardstock, I can demonstrate the warm edge of the spectrum and the cool edge of the spectrum, and how making the aperture smaller causes them to blend together. This is why Goethe believed that green was not a primary color, it was composite. I can get my other secondary color, magenta, by turning 45 degrees. There it is on the top and bottom. This might also be a good way to demonstrate how like purples and greens are actually neither warm nor cool, because they're not associated with the edges of the spectrum. But maybe that's a topic for another video. So here's a
pretty nuts, right? It's really cool. Yeah, it was really cool and like super simple. But he's got loads of videos like that. Like if you're into kind of the black magic of color, then yeah, this is like it's nuts. Yeah, because like all he's got is the three primaries down there. Super clever. Yeah, linkage. My God, so demanding. Like, definitely hadn't forgotten or anything. Yeah, it is Vlad, right? He's got loads of stuff like this. Yeah, tons of stuff, like super nerdy.
LEDs gives a narrowband spike of light emission at the designated wavelength here on the rod. I'll turn it on for you.
I mean, who
doesn't have you get sort of a nice visual representation of the visible spectrum from deep red all the way down to near ultraviolet. So with this array, we can put these transmission profiles to the test. Okay, violet, blue, turquoise, green, and then look what happens. As soon as I get up into the yellow, orange, red wavelengths, they start to disappear. And then I don't know if you can see this, but up near the top, there's a tiny bit of near-infrared light coming through. You can see that by the time it gets to 500, it's still letting through about 20% of the light. It trails off, and then you get this funny little bump in the near-infrared. Check this out. It's an LED array.
Come on, guys, you need to get your LED array right now. But yeah, like loads of stuff like that. Which, if you're a nerd about color like me, then this stuff is super cool. He's got loads of kind of. I haven't actually seen this one.
Dramatics. He describes an experiment you can do with a spinning disc
Have you tried to read
observe
any
the
of
difference
these
between the
old-school
optical
color theory
mixture
books?
of colors and the physical mixture of paints. I'm going to modify his design a bit by adding more stripes of red and blue to the outer ring in the hopes that the colors will blur together better when I spin the disc. I'm using cadmium red, not vermilion, but they're pretty close in hue. I'm also using French ultramarine because, let's be honest, I don't exactly have genuine lapis lazuli pigment lying around. Now let's try to get a physically integrated mixture of these two pigments that lies roughly at the midpoint between the two, visually. It'll take me a couple of coats. Alright, this still has to dry, but I think we're ready to mount it to this spinning top, and in a minute we'll be ready to give it a spin. The frame rate on the digital camera means the colors will never blend on a video as well as they do in the human eye. But the blur between the stripes captured here follows the same rules as optical mixing. If we sample it and look at those samples in a chromaticity diagram, you can see those intermediate purples follow a straight line from ultramarine to cadmium red.
Super interesting stuff. I mean, only if you're into that sort of thing. But yeah, he's got tons of really cool stuff on there. This one was kind of interesting.
This is my prototype for a variable color wheel, which you can use to demonstrate the difference between a traditional and a science-based hue space.
What he's talking about here is like the science behind color theory, and then kind of like the perception of it and how we would kind of use it. So I find this kind of color wheel that he's made here pretty useful. It does a really good job of kind of explaining why you may think that certain color combinations that kind of look better to you when science says that they should be like closer to a different hue. So let's hear this.
Hi, my name's Pete. I'm known as the Color Nerd on TikTok and ArtPeteRepeat on Instagram, and this is my first official post for Facebook. So yellow on a traditional artist color wheel is often put opposite purple. You can see that sort of stretches out the reds and oranges and compresses the blues and blue-greens. That's based on a theory that's a couple hundred years old that, you know, the color space should be built around the primaries red, yellow, and blue. And a perceptual color wheel, one based on differences that we can observe between hues and spacing them out evenly, would actually put yellow across from more of an ultramarine blue, stretching out the blues and greens and compressing the reds and oranges a little bit.
So this is what I mean about when people talk about color theory and the rules of it and how it works for, you know, for them and what they should be doing. And although I agree there is a lot of rules that are useful to get you started, right, to get you in the ballpark, I've always been an advocate of kind of just going by sort of feel almost, right? Just like the same as how you instinctively know when a note on the piano is out of tune or something like that, right? Even if you don't play an instrument, you know when a note is out of tune, right? So how can that be? And I think, you know, I'm not going to go into it here, but yeah, you know, fundamentally we have an understanding of you know, art and how it works. And I think what he's kind of saying here is that this color wheel, when it's kind of stretched like this, is more what we would deem visually as being more visually pleasing, as opposed to the opposite of yellow being the magenta, violet, purple type colors, you know. And this is why we see more of the orange and teals, right? When like visually, orange and teals look better to us, when technically the color wheel that's not correct in terms of complementary color, right? Like the orange and teal is not something that is accurate on the color wheel, but more in a sense of what we think looks good. So I think this is kind of like a clever way.
So this is a handy, quick way to visualize that difference in hue spacing, which actually has a lot of repercussions, like the way you might harmonize hues based on spacing them, right? Complementary color schemes will look different if you space the colors this way than they would if you space the colors this way. If you'd like to make your own, you can get the file on my Linktree and handouts.
So, you know, he's got tons of crazy ideas like that is like just a lot of fun to kind of listen to and check out. Yeah. I'm not going to read those clearly rude comments. Well done, Jamie. I can't wait to see the image. I'll refresh it in a minute. You won't driver. No worries, Wayne. All good. Yeah, I don't know whether he's on YouTube, actually. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Has he got a YouTube in his... Oh, he does have some stuff on there. Okay. Okay, nice. Yeah, I'll have to have a look. Yeah, nice. Don't have too much, though. Probably the... yeah, but worth a look for sure, yep. Cool, Michael. Yeah, no, it's good. I think he does really well to get a lot of information across in a super short space of time. So, you know, it's good for artists like us, right? Have a tiny attention span. Yeah, I've just bought a Creative Color Cube, which basically gives you so much color schemes for design, and it's physical, so fun. A color cube. Is this what it is? Is this what it is, Liz? Is it... God, I fucking love YouTube, man. So how does that work then? So what is that? What is that doing?
It's time to finally show you what I've spent months working on. And no, it's not a Rubik's Cube. It's so much more. But first, let me take you back to where this all started. Ever since I started making coloring books, one of the most common questions I've been asked is, how can I choose colors then you'll like the final product even more. Included a small sticker that you can choose to add anywhere on the box if you want to easily identify volume 1 from version to any corner being a different primary color and the colors in between being blends of these. Because it just looks good. This doesn't replace the color catalog. It's another tool that works alongside the catalog.
Okay. These colors makeup artists. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. Yeah, I've not heard of her or seen her stuff, but yeah. Color Cube. How much is a Color Cube then? Oh, and then in there it's got all those. You know what? It's not bad. Price-wise, it's pretty big. Oh, good for her, man. That's pretty nuts. Yeah, okay. That's cool. Yeah, nice. Okay. I'll have a look at those. Good shout. Appreciate it. Color on YouTube, and I guess using... To sample those, you mean the... What do you mean? Like samples of what? The samples of the... In here, the stuff that he was making. What's CA color catalog? Oh, right. You guys, honestly. It's like a rabbit hole. Where did you see that? There's tons of stuff in here. Adult coloring pages. Now we're talking, right? Is that not what I think? I would agree. Generating color palettes based on your photo was telling you a lot about what you did in editing. Well, that's what you've been doing, right, Vlad? You've been creating those color palettes of your images. Yeah. Okay. So what's this then? Find design inspiration, upload files. Ooh, okay. Let's have a look. Nice. Instant, quick as that. That's a good shout, Vlad. Yeah, well done, mate. That's cool. I like that. That's brilliant. That's super useful. Yeah, what's this do? Oh, dominant colors. Okay. Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah. Huh. That's nuts. That gives you the percentages in a pie chart. That's so clever. Yeah, I like that. That's brilliant. Good shout. Yeah. Right, okay. Let's have a look. Close that one. Right, let's talk about Jeremy Kawart here. Now look, I've been following Jeremy's work for many years. He's always been super creative, like really creative. He's always been doing a lot of stuff with projectors and just getting like, you know, kind of very how should we say, almost grungy with some of the effects that he's got in camera and that sort of thing. So he's been doing a ton of like really kind of how do we like grungy. Grungy I feel is not representative of the work that he does, but you kind of get the idea, right? And I've always been a huge fan of this style. It's so cool. And if you haven't seen Jeremy's work, it's blasphemy, but please go check it out. It's really good stuff. Gorgeous colors and gorgeous kind of effects that he adds. Now, the reason I wanted to kind of talk about Jeremy's work here for a second was kind of a project that he kind of started a few weeks back, and I think Vlad sent this to me as well. So I know Vlad follows him, but let's talk about this project here a second. I think here it is. Yeah, let me check on the comments for 2 seconds. See if you want more samples. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, Adobe has something similar with Adobe Color Wheel, but doesn't give you the percentages. That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I don't often use that. I used to use it a lot more than I do now. Yeah, this is a perfect shout for me. I'm in the middle of a little family project, restoring old pictures, and love the colors in the 70s connector. Oh right, nice. Okay.
Fastest, most efficient, and diverse photo shoot process on the planet, that statement might actually be true. So check this out. I now do free 60-second photo shoots for the public where people come in from all over the country for a 1-minute experience. During that 1 minute, I shoot about 150 portraits. Today, my model is me because I'm alone, duh. Every single portrait has a unique backdrop behind the person. So 150 portraits with 150 unique backdrops all in 60 seconds. I've created hundreds of these backdrops using Midjourney, which is an AI app. These AI images get blown up on a 10 by 11 foot LED wall from my friends at RJ Young. And then every single portrait is rotating through 8 different lighting setups as well. I'm ADD, so why not have the lighting constantly changing too? Oh, and of course I edit all the photos randomly with tons of presets I've created over the years. For all my tech friends, by the way, I use Capture One Pro to edit. Everything's running on a MacBook Pro M3, and I'm shooting with a Canon R5. So the result, 150 completely unique portraits in 60 seconds. My studio is in Franklin, Tennessee, and I'd love for you to come see me and be next. Book a shoot, the link is in my bio. It's literally free. Follow me for more photography explorations. Want to see the fastest, most efficient, diverse photo shoot process on the planet?
In terms of
that statement might actually be true. So check this out. I now do free 60-second photo shoots for the public where people come in from all over the country for a 1-minute experience. During that 1 minute,
so there's a 1 minute, right? So he's shooting for 1 minute.
Shoot about 150 portraits.
So there's 150 portraits in 1 minute, right? So, just over a couple of frames a second, right? So it's really buzzing through these shots.
Today, my model is me because I'm alone, duh.
That's not sped up.
Every single portrait has a unique backdrop behind the person. So 150 portraits with 150 unique backdrops all in 60 seconds. I've created hundreds of these backdrops using Midjourney.
So he's gone into Midjourney, as we know, is the AI app, and then made all the AI backdrops that he, like I can see here, that he kind of wants to use.
Which is an AI app.
Right, so these are all AI, so, he's free to use them as much as he wants.
These AI images get blown up on a 10 by 11 foot LED wall.
Now, that's the sexy part right there, right? A 10 foot by 11 foot LED wall. And sadly, they are extremely expensive, right? I think you can get, I don't even know what the closest one would be, but like we're talking 1 meter by half a meter. It was like 500 quid or something like that. So this is a lot of those, right? This is a lot of those. But anyway, so he's projecting them onto this wall here. So is this not, sorry, projecting is the wrong word, but they are being displayed on this 10-foot squared TV essentially behind.
From my friends at RJ Young. And then every single portrait is rotating through 8 different lighting setups.
And then each of these shots is also having different lighting attached to the shot as well. So it's a different background, a different AI background, and different lighting setups as well. And it's rotating through 8 of these, as you can see there as well.
I'm ADD, so why not have the lighting constantly changing too? Oh, and of course I edit all the photos randomly with tons of presets I've created over the years.
And then he's just spitting them out into his software, I presume, Lightroom, something like that, and then he's using the presets that he's made over the years to then add his special sauce to the final shots.
For all my tech friends, by the way, I use Capture One Pro to edit. Everything's running on a MacBook Pro M3, and I'm shooting with a Canon R5. So the result, 150 completely unique portraits in 60 seconds. My studio is in Franklin, Tennessee, and I'd love for you to come see me and be next. Book a shoot, the link is in my bio. It's literally free.
So this is kind of interesting to me, right? And I think, Jeremy's always good at coming up with different projects to play with, and I think this is another great example of that. And I'm kind of torn on it, so I was kind of interested to see what you guys felt about it, because as a photographer, we have a certain amount of input, right? How much input do we really have when it comes to a portrait? And I think we need to, look at what a portrait means. Like, to many people, a portrait is really trying to get something out of the subject that is kind of personal to them and say something about them and that sort of thing. And what we're kind of doing here is we're kind of doing this randomization of effects, and like multiple layers of randomization. So not only do we have the backgrounds, he's buzzing through 150 backgrounds or whatever it is, like more than 2 a second, and then the lighting is being kind of randomized on top of that. And then you have the subject in there as well, and I'm not sure how he's kind of going through and getting them to react, but like during this at the start in a minute, you actually see him, and it looks like it's sped up when he's standing in there, but it's not. Like, you see how fast it is when it comes up in a second, and when he's photographing himself, right? And you'll see it should come up any second now, and they are just blitzing through, and he's moving, right? Because he there you go. Right? How do you what are you trying to get out of your subject when you're doing this? So I think it's an interesting project. I think it's fun. I think it's something that people talk about. I think it's something that people will share, like I'm doing now, and talk about it and that sort of thing. And I'm sure he's going to get some outstanding results. But yeah, it's an interesting idea, and I suppose it's kind of blurring the line between having. It's almost like a portrait preset, right? It's just kind of crazy. So you just go in there and you just blitz the subject. You absolutely just blitz the subject, and it's the spray and pray scattergun approach of you just need, like, if you're going to be shooting 150, there's got to be a couple in there that are going to be all right, yeah. So because I'm sure out of that 60 seconds, there's probably going to be a handful of images in there that are probably pretty cool, right? So what's wrong with that? But at the same time, I'm kind of torn on how much of an input or lack of input that you have to create that. And you can say, well, Jake, he set everything up. It's already set there. He made the backgrounds. He set the lighting up. Nothing wrong with that. I agree. Yeah, I think it's an interesting project. I do. Yeah. Let's have a look. Adobe One was integrated in Photoshop a while ago. That's right. Yeah, I forgot it was part of Photoshop. Yeah. We tried looking at the RGB co-response to the film. Has a retro dazed confused look for Jeremy's work. That's true, Wayne. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it's probably a little bit bold for Dazed Confused, but I definitely hear what you're saying in terms of the broken down kind of. I mean, it was like 90s that was a little bit more grungy for that style, but I think it's interesting to see what he does with it and kind of modernized it. Yeah, it's crazy. This is amazing. Cool. Yeah. I mean, if only we all had an LED wall. Yeah. Display is from his friends. Blah blah blah. We need better friends. Let's have a look. My friends. Let's have a look. Okay, so I tried to find out some information via this company's website, and it's impossible. Right? It's horrendous. Like if it's terrible. No offense to RJ Young, but it's if AI made a company. This the website is horrendous. I couldn't find anything of any use on it at all. But I was kind of looking. I'm sure I came across. Oh, here you go. Here it is, right here. So this is them. This is their page, but we're in Jeremy's studio, right? So this is them going down to Jeremy's studio and setting up the wall. So this is a big. This is not just something that you just prop up at the back of the room and crack on, right? This is the frame that they're making for it here. and obviously just testing it out. They got Jeremy's lights and stuff here. There it is, Jeremy there. So there's the backgrounds that he's made. But you know, it's definitely not just something that you just pop down to Curry's and pick one up. You know, it's a serious bit of kit for sure. Yeah, huge bit of kit. And by all means, if you guys want to find some prices, then let me know. But they are, you know, it's pricey, very pricey to do this, sadly, because it would be incredible. Because the quality of these is nuts, right? This is a super high quality one as well. This is not even like you see these in shops. Like you go to like, you know, I don't know, like Zara or something like that, and they'll have like LED walls at the back, and they're just like 1 pixel every square inch or something like that. You know, this is a serious bit of kit that we're talking could well be up around, you know, 5 to 10 grand's worth, maybe even more worth of kit back there. This is 2 136-inch DV LED screens, and again, I you know, sadly, I really just couldn't find. I mean, solutions. What? You're obviously not dealing with creatives, I guess, because interactive. I mean, I spent a couple of minutes. I just gave up. I was just like, yeah, nah. I couldn't find the pretty pictures I was after, so I dipped. But look, it's an interesting project. You know, I think it is an interesting project. But I'm kind of curious as to the input and the output and what he gets from it. You know. Sorry if you can hear that. It's my dog. Oi. So I think he's got. So you might have some other examples here when he's playing with it.
New LED wall where I have the wall behind my subjects and I create imagery in AI, and then I put it on the LED wall. So instead of physical backdrops, I now have a digital screen as my backdrops, and check out all the different results. And again, I'm using different lighting every single frame. So as I'm shooting, all the lighting is changing, the AI backdrops are changing, everything is changing to capture different vibes, different moods. Love these are my friend Scott. Love these are my friend Danae. She's in the woods. She's got fireworks behind her. She's got blue epic landscapes, and then this vibe. Love these. And then there's that vibe and super moody. Love this one. Anyway, there you go. Come see me.
So, I mean, a couple of examples there where he's starting to play with it. This one, I think that one's actually a little bit more emotional. Nothing wrong with that, but we can see if we can find. I'll have a look at this one. So one thing that's going on here as well is you'll notice there's
more
a bunch of
results
things
are in
in
from
front
my
of the
shoots.
lens.
These are just from the last few days of shooting. Y'all have so many photos I don't know what to do with. But hey, Wednesday is Valentine's Day, so I'm inviting all couples to come in to stand in front of my big fancy LED screen and take some photos. Your partner, your spouse will be so impressed that you thought of something so creative and meaningful to document your relationship. So y'all come see me on Wednesday, and apparently tomorrow, Tuesday, is Galentine's Day, which I didn't. So,
yeah, I mean, he's definitely leaning into the, you know, because you mentioned it there, like meaningful. Yeah, I don't know. Is it meaningful? I mean, you just going in there and seeing like a bunch of, like, a huge amount of variety and variation, and there's nothing, like I said, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I think he's tapping into something that a lot of portrait photographers kind of overlook today, especially, and that is kind of like the experience or the memory of the photos being taken that has such a huge impact when it comes to actually like selling said images back to the client. And you know, Wayne, if you're still in here, you know, we used to work in studios that were like, you know, kind of a little bit too reliant on that, in my opinion. And I think there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it in you know, in a way of trying to tell somebody's story, which is what we were told to do. But I think a better way to look at it is to make the photo shoot more memorable, right? And you know, I used to do, you know, Wayne, you'll know this as well, you know, you do these crazy photo shoots and that sort of thing, and there'd be I would do family shoots, and there would be times where you do, like, let's just say it was like boys v girls, right? So you'd have mum, dad, and then 2 kids, right? And then you'd have them at the back of the studio, and you'd get like the boys pushing against the girls, right? So they'd be all squashed up, you know, so they'd be squashed against each other, and they'd be pushing, and the kids would be pushing and tickling and all that sort of stuff, and you'd have these crazy expressions and that sort of stuff. Now, like the images themselves were not flattering at all, right? They'd have like some faces would be squashed like this. When it came to selling those images, they would always sell. People loved to buy those images, not because they looked beautiful or amazing in the picture, but because of the memory of the picture being taken. That's what they were buying, right? They're buying into the fact of that image and the experience they had with that image. Oh, that was when, you know, you were tickling dad, and that's when Timmy fell over and we won, and right, you know. And I think that a lot of people, especially portrait photographers, who are trying to sell the images back to the person, you know, this is not what I do as a job anymore. I sell images to people who aren't in the image, right? But if you are somebody who's selling images to the person who's in the image, then this sort of kind of experience, I think, is incredibly valuable, and something that so many photographers today kind of overlook, right? And trying to make that experience this part of the sale. Because, you know, if you're coming in and taking part in this is like, whoa, this is nuts, man. This is like black magic. This is crazy, man. Remember that photo shoot we had? It was nuts. It's going to be literally like nothing else you've ever done before. So I think that there is a lot of value to that, especially to subjects coming in and going through it. And by all means, you know, in your own time, have a look at this. And, you know, this lady here's got her own story that she shares and that sort of thing as well. So I don't necessarily think that he's trying to get them in and out of the studio in 60 seconds, right? I don't think that's what he's trying to do here. I think, you know, he's making this 60-second photo shoot as part of the kind of memorable sales pitch. But I'm sure that they're there, you know, sat down having a drink, chatting and that sort of stuff for a long period of time. So I don't think it's necessarily a case of ramming them through the door, but it's definitely an interesting idea. Yeah. James says I ain't got the amount of cash. However, a mate of mine is going to the job in Birmingham where we'll have access to LED volume. Might have to dig out. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you got one left over, mate, let me know. I mean, it's also interesting that he's got it set up with the lighting, right? So the lighting changes every frame, right? So he's got it so that like the lights change with every, you know, instantaneously, which is kind of cool. Yeah. It is a bit spray and pray, yeah. I think it's an interesting idea. But yeah, I'm sure that out of 150 shots, there's going to be a handful in there. I don't think there's going to be an issue with that. Do you not have dog treats? I should do, shouldn't I? Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, that's a good point. Kind of reminds me of the virtual production of The Mandalorian where they use screens as backdrops. If you haven't seen that, yeah, exactly, Gripes. Yeah, it's similar sort of thing. And I presume that we're going to see these LED walls coming down and down in cost and just being, you know, far more affordable. I mean, you can still do all this with projectors. You know, it's what I do with projectors and have been doing it with projectors for years and years and years. The only difference is that you can pick up like a half decent second-hand projector for 150 quid, you know, as opposed to spending 10 grand on an LED wall. Beautiful as it is, though. I mean, it would be incredible. Yeah, he's got 100 meter LED backdrops, and I'm checking the bulky waste of cabinet back walls that I can paint. Yeah, I mean, at least it's flat to the wall. Yeah. Hey Tony, morning mate. How you doing? So yeah, go and have it. I mean, like, regardless of the subject matter that we're discussing here as to what what makes it a great image or whether it is a great idea as a portrait setup. Jeremy's work is outstanding, gorgeous, absolutely phenomenal work, super creative, and you're absolutely going to find it really inspiring. I don't care who you are, you will definitely find aspects of it that are definitely inspiring. So yeah, definitely check out his work. Yeah. Okay, right, let's have a look at some images then. Let's have a look at some of your shots. Let's just close the Instagrams for now because they are slowing it down. Right, where is the... There we go. Okay. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at some of these shots here. Let's give that just a quick refresh in case I missed that. So, if you're new here, hi. What we're doing here is a share a shoe, which is do this every week. And every couple of weeks I'll do it live. But the premise is that you guys share your work. So this is from yesterday's post. So it's from yesterday. I post on my Facebook page every Monday under the Share a Shoot banner. And then I basically ask you guys to pop your images in the comments. And then we can go through and have a look at them, and see what you guys have been working on, offer any feedback and CC if needed. All right. So if you wanted to share an image, then do so. Just go to my Facebook page and pop it in there, and we can have a look. So, most relevant. Vlad is most relevant this week. It's good to see, mate. It's good to see. Oh, he even survives all comments as well. So, Vlad says, I'm on my last stretch of the grain deep dive videos. I didn't have much time to photograph anything in the last 2 weeks. But the LED strips from AliExpress arrived a few days ago. I just had to solder them up. So far I can say that shooting with tubes, actually strips taped to broomstick. Is that what you do? Nice. Love it. Is different from any other light fixture I've ever used. Yeah, they are 1 meter long, so the light spread is grey. The LEDs are so dense I don't even need a diffuser. Okay. I can address every individual LED, so I can, for example, put a gradient next to a person or fade light one end. So, Vlad, if you're still here, why do you think we don't see more of that? Why? Because I mean, we've spoken about this grad and layered thing before. Like, why do you think we haven't seen these types of light? Because it's totally doable, right? Like you said, I mean, you can individually adjust each of these LEDs in that strip here. I wonder why we don't see grads and that sort of thing, especially like color grads. Are you fucking crazy? Like, a grad from like pink to yellow or something like that, or pink to blue, beautiful tones. It would be super doable, and yeah, I think you really need to as soon as you've got into this now and you're kind of unpacking it, I think there's huge scope for you to start playing with that. Because you just don't see it, right? You just don't see people using gradiented lights. Certainly not at scale. Like we looked at like a $5,000 panel or something last week, and you could have 6 different colored squares on it, but that was it. This here, like Vlad is saying, you can literally put, it can just be bright going to dark if you wanted, or it can be color gradients, just like we said, orange to blue or anything like that. It could be, so much scope to do stuff with that. Rude answer, photographers are dumb. You can't ask them to deal with these complicated UI. It's just really a preset though, right? I mean, Rhodolite asked me to put preset colors into it, and people into their lights, and people were like, well, I don't have access to that. Can I get those presets? It's just a color, guys. I don't have a color trademarked. I'm not using magic. I'm not using Jake's colors. You can put any color you want in there. So it's just a matter of a preset. I don't think that's. You think that's just too kind of difficult for people to get their head around? I don't know. I mean, there must be a reason. Yeah. Except I'll make a video about them. I bet you are, yeah. NECC welcomed in my test shot as always. Already see some darker spots in the middle that I think should be addressed in editing. Yeah, I don't think there's any major issues here. The one thing that I would kind of be looking out for is always going to be the kind of like light from below here. But I don't think it's not an issue, right? I don't think it's an issue at all. Even though it looks like the light's coming from below here, it's not reflected on the face, because we can see the shadow of the nose here is actually coming down the face. So I think you've done a really good job of that. Right, I think it's done a really good job of that. The other issue that you can often see, especially with LEDs, and maybe you kind of fix this in post, the other issue is that you will sometimes here get this kind of weird greenish hue, which is bizarre because it doesn't happen with flash, but it does happen with certain LEDs that I've found. So maybe your LEDs don't do this, whatever the reason. But yeah, sometimes you can get this kind of green hue that appears when we mix these two colors here, and I think it's something to do with the quality of the LEDs, because I know it doesn't happen on the Rotor lights, but it has happened on the Godox LED tubes. So, but you don't have that issue here, so unless you fix that in post, but either way, it's good. Dark spots up here, it's not an issue. I really don't think so. I think like if it was a dark spot here, yes, it'd be an issue, but I think at the back here, the back of the head on the crown there is not an issue. I think this is absolutely fine, man. Yeah, I think you've done a really good job. And things that I'm looking out for, like I said, shadows going up the face, not happening. Even we can see here the shadow is not going down. At most, it's coming straight from one side. So yeah, I think you've nailed it. Yeah, looking good. Yeah, I was kind of sus of that, Vlad, because I was like, there's no way he's getting that light like that. So I was wondering. He said you've got a third one up there. Yeah, it should be behind the scenes. Oh right, okay. Let's have a look. Comments. No, I didn't see anything. Unless it's. I mean, I just refresh this. So unless you added it then, but yeah, I don't see, unless it's somewhere else. I don't see it. Is that what you mean? Like BTS in the comments, right? Yeah. But yeah. Oh yeah, no worries, Vlad. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. So bottom line, mate. Yeah, beautiful image, gorgeous. Really, really strong colors. No weird color distortions in there that I would kind of be expecting and looking for. No weird lighting effects like coming from below that I'm kind of looking for. Ooh, excuse me. Whew. Blimey. So, they are tightly packed, aren't they? Yeah. Okay. It's the Facebook thing. I was like, what is going on there? Okay. So we came. So what have we got up here then, Vlad? So what's this greeny white light up here? Is this the orange again as well? Is it just another one up here? Like what are we doing up here? Like, it's fine that I like the fact that you've coloured it consistently here. It's looking good. Yeah. 144 in a meter. Right. Gotcha. Thank you, Kat. Thank you. Yeah. But it's good though. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, but you can kind of see these weird color distortions here, right? We got it like these weird magenta kind of thing going on here, and then I'm not sure. I think like Vlad said, he's got a light up here somewhere. I'm not sure what color that light is. So because we got this weird kind of greenish hue up there. Up top is a Young-Yo light set to white. There it is. There it is. That's why we're getting this greeny color. Is those crappy Young-Yo cheap lights. I mean, I say that. Like I said, I found the Godox tube to have a greeny white light to it. But yeah, like you graded it out, not a problem, all good. Yeah. So Mylene, just did my very first photo shoot, was about YouTube color. Nice, brilliant, good for you. Yeah, good for you. And thanks for sharing it. Thanks for sharing your first one here. I'm glad you jumped into the color, and I think it's good. Jump in with just simple colors first. Maybe we just got the one red on this side, and then it looks like maybe got white, or maybe even very pale blue on this side coming in, which is good, right? So we got the white light, or at least bluish light on this side in terms of where the face is and that sort of thing. So the only thing we want to be looking out for with kind of shots like this is going to be our perspective, right? When you're taking the picture as the photographer, you've got to be thinking that that's then going to be the perspective of the viewer, right? So for something like this, I would kind of be inclined to maybe come down a little bit lower, just to kind of avoid too much of the distortion that we've got here. So you coming down a tiny bit lower. And then the only other thing we kind of want to be looking for is just going to be a little bit more separation between the kind of the subject and the background there. So I know it's kind of difficult. And one thing we kind of, if that was an issue, because we almost want a little bit more red coming through here, right? Just so we can see a touch more behind them. So that's just something that we kind of need to be thinking of. We always want to be thinking about that separation between subject and background. So maybe if it's at all possible, just to bring them, slightly away from that wall, so we could let a little bit of that red light just maybe pass behind them, and then we could see just a little bit more separation here. But otherwise, yeah, in terms of jumping in with color, absolutely great to see it. Yeah, love it, good job. That light was wacky, so yeah, I really have to sell it. Yeah, I mean, you can still use it, and you're aware of it, and you're color grading it out. But yeah, it's that's nasty. That is a nasty color for sure. Yeah, don't even know if the CRI is just poorly or calibrate green magenta. The thing is with those is, it's just, it's the green. Auto white balance on your camera will dip into the tint, so you can get away with it, but you can't get away with it when you're doing other colors, right? You can't just use auto white balance here because it'll screw up these. So you can get away with using these cheaper white light LEDs if you want to be using auto white balance, but yeah, it's just, it's sometimes they're more trouble than it's worth. Oh, this is Mike from Michael. Oh, Michael reached out to me on Instagram. I did get your message, Michael. I will email you those details about the workshops and stuff tomorrow. But thank you for the message. It's my first photo shoot last weekend. So this is your first ever photo shoot then? That's nuts. Yeah, it's really good, really good. So jumping in the studio with the colors and that sort of thing, this is good. We can see here in terms of the white light is nice. It's up high. We can see that light is coming down onto the face, which is good. We've got strong separation between subject and background. And and to be fair, we've got a little bit of issue here with the color falling off a little bit on the background, but it's not the end of the world. It's 90% of the way there, and it'll be easy to fix in post. So that's not an issue. Just the one immediate thing that springs to me here is the fact that this is not quite upright. So, but again, super easy to fix that in post. So not an issue, right? You can easily fix that in post just to straighten that up. But for all of these shots, especially when you've got something that's quite in the middle like that, definitely just check that it's vertical or horizontal, especially if you're using geometrics or on location and that sort of thing. And but we all do it, slightly off to one side or whatever. It happens all the time, but it's easy to fix. Yeah. Oh, you're in here, Michael. Nice. Yeah. So my first shoot have 2 aperture P300s. Oh, okay. Nice. Okay. So how many lights? This is more than 2 lights though. Because we got one light here, and see one thing as well. We got this shadow here that I was kind of curious as to where this light was coming from. This kind of, so we've definitely got. Do we have a light here? Is this the light on the hair? Then we've got a light there, and then we've got the blue light. This is a lot more than that. A lot more than 2 lights. So you've got a lot going on here. So, this is your first shoot. You've got a lot going on, and I think, maybe your first shoot, you've done a great job right off the bat. So, so that's good, man. That's good. Yeah. You also done a really nice job of not having it too dark. I think a lot of times people in the studio for the first time can leave a lot of areas dark, but we got only got 2 spotlights as well. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so you kind of mixing those in there. Again, you've done a good job to mix those. Yeah, I can see we have a little bit of color up here on the hair as well, which is nice. So yeah, overall, good stuff. A little bit, things we want to be watching out for. And I know you're kind of restrained because I presume it would have been kind of nice to see more of the front of her face here, but I kind of know, as soon as she turns around too much, then you can't share it on socials. So I get it. You're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place for that one. Oh, I am sorry. I didn't see that. That makes way more sense. Okay, so this is a lot going on for your first shoot, Michael. Thank you. Yeah, I see it now. Yeah, thank you. I don't know why I didn't see the BTS thing there before. Oh, there we go. We've got the apertures up there. Blocks. Okay, and then we got this coming through here. Oh, this is one of the old school scrims. Yeah, that's cool, man. She got lights up there in the ceiling. You got a big space, man. Is this your space, or did you hire this studio? Yeah. My cheeky plan of hijacking the stream with black and white pics didn't work out well. Jake, have you ever considered using false color LUT on your live view as a tool for setting up lights and their power? No, I haven't. Yeah, I don't really like any of those effects. I'm really just doing it by eye. I know you're definitely looking at the science of it, Vlad, and I fully respect that. But yeah, it's the same reason why I don't use a light meter. It's not because I'm lazy or anything like that. It's purely because I want to kind of work like somebody would do with a paintbrush, right? You're just kind of layering it on, and you kind of getting a feel for it. I try and break my setups down so that people can understand what's going on, but I think you've got to realize that at this stage of me and where I'm shooting now, it is very it is a lot just by feeling my way through it as to what looks good. Less purple here, more pink there, ease off on the blue here, color dominance, all that sort of stuff. So I'm definitely doing it by eye on purpose. Yeah, people will look at my old images and from way back when, and this is this color theory and this is that color theory, or I like the triadic use there and all that sort of stuff. And I have never, something that I haven't said anywhere, but I have never ever used a color wheel on set. Yeah. I wasn't aware of a lot of the color theories when I was starting out with gels. It was purely done, like jazz, right? You're kind of just feeling your way through it a little bit, and it sounds super, a little bit egotistical, a little bit arrogant. I get it, which is why I tend to try and keep things as technical as I can to kind of explain what I'm doing. But the reality is that when I'm shooting it is definitely working my way through it. Yeah, in terms of feel. Yeah. You rented the studio, nice. Oh, it's a beautiful space, Michael. Yeah, and if that's local to you, then and they've got all this kit in there to play with, that's huge. Yeah, that's going to make life a lot easier. Yeah, it's nice, man. It's good. Yeah, beautiful space. Yeah, I like the fact they got this black curtain up behind you as well. It's going to stop a lot of the light bouncing around. Yeah. Thinking of going external monitor, and this is one of the tools that I think is amazing for beginners to set the power of the lights. Okay. Yeah. Sounds esoteric, but I've done the same. I start with speed lights. Okay. Yeah. So you're talking about this is what a lot of video guys use, right? With the color wave and all that sort of stuff when they're looking at it, which is basically a histogram for the color. Is that what you're referring to? Because I see people have mentioned that and asking about the color wave and all that sort of shit. And it's like no. I mean, if it works for you, it works, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you definitely do what works. Tony, just did a background placement with this studio shot. So what was the background before then, Tony? Are you still here, or are you just getting your coffee and stuff? But yeah, the background replacement, especially with this kind of shot, isn't too difficult to cut out, right? It's fairly clean. There's no crazy frizzy hair and I have to worry about. So it is fairly easy to cut out. Yeah, makes sense. It's about feeling as well. Yeah, I don't know. I think people want to like people want to know. A cheat sheet is unfair, but people do definitely want like this kind of hard and fast rule, or this way of going. You do this, and you will get X result. Like calibrate your monitor. Your retouching is going to be great. It's just not going to work. I'm not, and look, I'm not poo-pooing the way that anybody else works, or use a light meter if it helps you, or color wave. Absolutely do that. But yeah, I think for a lot of the time we can kind of get held back by that, right? You have this idea and you try so hard to achieve it. Sometimes you'll miss something else that could come along that you hadn't anticipated. Like the happy accident kind of thing. And I think a lot of art is, should be about that. When you're kind of trying something new to the point of breaking it, that's when you kind of open up something new. Theory is always useful, but you're just winging it also feels great. I think, it's because you are working with other humans as well, right? I'm not photographing plant pots and washing machines. I am working with another human being in front of me, and I think that you kind of need to work fairly freely with them as well. Like what's going to work with them, False color is something like shows green, whereas blue. It's perfect for you, Vlad. That is perfect for you. And I really hope you get success with it. I really do. Yeah. Just don't pay data color for the screen calibration tools. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's just a marketing thing, and I think there's a very small percentage of people that can benefit from those screen calibration tools, but they're very expensive, and like they're just most people they are wasted on. Yeah. I constantly wing it. It's called being creative. It is to a certain extent. Because that's really when you are being creative, is when you're kind of making it up when you're going along. I mean, you can be creative in other ways for sure, but I think there are certain, like I said, opportunities that you need to be open to when they come along, rather than like, I can't do that because it's gonna break the histogram. You shouldn't you shouldn't corner yourself like that. So this is cool, Tony. Yeah, this is cool. The only thing I would just kind of, I think we could kind of tighten up the contrast on him to kind of match the contrast in the background, because I think the colors and stuff is working fine, but I still think there's a little bit of room for us to color grade him to kind of match that background just a touch more. We have some gray areas here on his skin that would maybe benefit from just being warmed up a touch to kind of match the background here. And again, like easy to do, we just add a little bit of red to the shadows here, and that would really help to make him pop. But yeah, really cool. Just remember to turn off night light. What? Just remember to turn off the night lights on my PC. What's the night light on your PC? Like, you mean just you have that glowing in the background? So Danny says, incredible model I taught, and she so humble, Danny. Incredible model I taught, she posed with such confidence and grace, and this is great. Yeah, I agree, Danny. Yeah, I agree. This is she looks great here. Yeah, she looks good. Yeah. So we got 2 EOS, 2 Neo. So what you got 2 Neo 3s on the background. Okay. So we got 2 EOS 2s on her, and then a Neo 3 hairlight, which I presume is this little fella here. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Vlad. Yes, I do know what you mean now. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Remember that? I remember that one was a thing when everybody was using it on the iPhone and stuff. Oh, you can have the the night mode, and it was just, you would just see people. I don't know. I was traveling a lot on the tubes and stuff at the time, and you just see people like with the just looking at Instagram with the night light on. I'd just be like, those poor photographers. It's just horrendous, man. Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah. Awful bloody things. Yeah. And we're supposed to, and it's supposed to help you sleep or some shit. I don't know. Kind of sus, if you ask me. Just look at an image properly, will you? This is looking good. So what's happening here, Danny? I kind of, we've got elements here, like overlapping elements. So we've got the blue kind of overlapping into the pinks and purples and stuff here. And I think you're on the cusp of making it work here. We're just got to be careful when we kind of overlap colors like this, because we can start to get these weird like kind of patches of transitional color, right? We can see here where it's starting to get like muddy tones, and that happens when we start to layer up colors. And some colors are worse than others. Like this isn't too bad because we're kind of in the analogous range here of the sort of purpley pinks, blues. So we're kind of getting away with it. You know, had this been orange and blue, for example, we would have been, you know, in a lot more trouble because they would have kind of cancelled each other out. But still be thinking about when you're setting up a shot like this with multiple colors on the body, thinking about the golden rule of colored lighting is you can only apply a gel to a shadow. Okay, so what that means is that if you were to turn each of these lights on and take a picture, they should only be illuminating each section of the body themselves. So each light has its one section of the body that it should be falling on, right? And that's how we're able to get these rich, strong, vibrant colors, is if we only apply a gel to a shadow. Okay, so for here, for example, if we were to just turn all the lights off and just turn the pink on, right? Like the pink should, you know, only be lighting this, right? Okay, then we turn that off, and then we turn the blue on, and then the blue will only be lighting this here, and it would all be dark here. And then when we have the pink on, it would all be dark here, right? And it's, if we can do that, and this means that we don't just need to be thinking about the position of the lights, but we also need to be thinking about the pose, right? So there's always going to be that synergy between model, pose, and light, and we kind of need to balance that out. But the golden rule really is, you know, you can only apply a gel to a shadow. So breaking each of your shots down and just turn off all the lights, turn on one light, take a shot. Okay, we've got this nice, rich, dark shadow on this side. Perfect. That means that I can then apply a color to it. If we, you know, turn the pink on and there's pink everywhere, and then go, oh cool, I'll just bring in a blue on this side as well, it's not going to work. It's just going to wash. It's just going to wash out these colors. I'm going to get these kind of muddy colors. So look, I think you kind of, you know, on the verge of getting away with it here because the colors that we're using. I just want you to maybe, you know, think about how we can keep those colors separate, right? And use the body to kind of separate those colors. So rather than having the lights coming in like this, maybe have this one here and then bring this one like around, right? So now the model is kind of in the middle and she is separating those two colors. Something to think about. Looking good, Jamie. Loving this. This is bold. Yeah, this was the first test for the Rhodolites I got. Thanks, Jake, for the discount on top of the sale. Oh, nice. Yeah, good. Yeah, appreciate. No worries, man. I'm glad you're able to use it. Yeah, 2 EOS Pros, 2 Neo Pros. Started off based on one of your examples, but wasn't happy. Wow, man. Cuts deep. Started off based on one example, wasn't happy, so started playing and wanted to go quite neon. It's a new way to shoot, as it were, although I used to do something similar 20 years ago. Yeah, put in black and white, not going to go into details here. Used the denoise in Lightroom to kill the grain. So what ISO are you at here then? Did you say? In here? Did I miss it? No, you didn't say what ISO you're on there. It looks desaturated compared to what's on my screen here. It looks vibrant on my screen here, so maybe it's the stream. It looks popping here, mate. Yeah, you're good. What ISO did you end up shooting at then? I don't, unless I missed it here. Use the denoise, ISO 400. Okay, well that's all right. That's fine. Yeah. Going to use it in the next shoot this weekend as I'm wanting to shoot f4 160 less. Okay, this is beautiful. Yeah, really, really good, man. Again, I can see you're kind of definitely getting your signature sort of retouching going on this latex. Got that nice little glow, you know, that you've got going there. I think it works really well. This is really good. This is really good. I would say that this is a touch hot here. Right, just a touch blown out here. Just be real. I know it's super difficult to shoot. I get it. Like it's really difficult to shoot, but this is a touch hot here, and I would argue that it's maybe a little bit more than a touch. just kind of with this shiny stuff, you got to just ease off a little bit on that. And if you're ever in doubt, always kind of underexposed, never overexposed. You can always brighten it up afterwards. This is good, man. This is really good. Yeah, just watch that exposure on this. Very, very kind of reflective surfaces. Okay, so Brett says, finished up some commercial beauty, trying to incorporate more product shots for my big pitch to a cosmetics company. Any suggestions on the lighting or crop? Lighting's good, man. It's clean. Yeah, it's clean. I think, I presume this is retouched, right? So I think you've got the two schools of thought, right? When it comes to retouching, you've got the like super like 2000s plastic retouching that we're kind of coming away from now, and then over here you've got the really, really natural borderline kind of, is that retouched or this isn't retouched? Okay, that's great then. That's great. Yeah, but I think you want to keep it with cosmetics. You want to be really careful to not go over the top unless you're doing cosmetics for career, then go wild. But yeah, so I think you want to be really, really careful. Make sure you're using that skin tone layer that I showed you to make sure that that's all tightened up. But lighting wise, this is really strong. If this is unretouched, this is good. Just double check. We got make sure you adjust the color in the hair here. Again, this can happen with certain lights and hair products, but the hair has just got tinges of green in this. We just want to make sure that we just absolutely just snuff that out, just to make sure that there is no hint of that here. Okay. So just either do the color layer like I showed you, and just apply almost like a reddish tone on there, or just select the hair and just take out just a tiny bit of green. That will help. But I think retouching wise, we just want to use that gray layer retouch that I showed you, just to knock out these wrinkles here on the neck. Just kind of soften up any little bumps in here and stuff is fine. Try and darken down this hand a little bit if you can. Like the face is, again, I know you do tend to shoot a little bit bright. I swear, either you're losing your eyesight or your camera monitor is too dark. We've got to be real careful here, because we're dealing with specular highlights here on the skin, which is very, very difficult to bring back. So we've got to be real careful. But otherwise, lighting wise, it's beautiful. I love the fill light we've got here. The crop, we just need to make sure that that's balanced as well, right? Because this is not quite, this is not weighted properly at the moment. We definitely need to be more over here. Maybe even bring it down a little bit further. Yeah, but then we've got to be careful with these fingers coming in. So you kind of maybe, this is a tricky one, because if we come in like this and we just have the fingers coming in, it's going to be creepy. One thing you could do is to just generative fill it out here is probably going to be your best bet. So keep the hand and then generative fill. I know you can't see the bottom of my screen there, but just generative fill out the bottom of it here, just to balance it out. Yeah, because I would want to come in on a tighter crop there, but that hand is going to make it awkward. Yeah. Probably overcooked it in Photoshop. Fancy the contrast, but the original exposure have plenty to do. Fine, cool, perfect. Yeah, I would definitely, if you can grab that, yeah, do it. Yeah. There is like, it's almost, you can barely see it, but there is green elements in this hair, and this happens a lot with whatever this thing is called, this product that they put in to strip the color out of hair. It's not, I mean, I suppose bleach is probably a little bit harsh, but that's essentially what it is. When they do this to hair, it just adds this green to it, and it's subtle, but you just need to knock it out, yeah, just to tighten it up. Yeah. No worries, Vlad, mate. Take it easy. Yeah, thanks for hanging about. Have a good night, mate. Just learn about the LED adjustment. Yeah, the grey layer and dodge and burn. The grey layer is kind of a dodge and burn. Yeah, so you set it to soft light, and then you just use black and white paint. Exactly. Yeah. So it's nice, it's edgy from Sunday. Model was superb. Single light one. This is cool, man. This is really good. And normally I'm not a huge fan of stuff being kind of overly sharp, but this actually really works here. We got ton like really just drawn into the face and the detail on the necklace and stuff here. That's really cool. Yeah, really cool. Yeah, like it. I'd be interested to see if you in post if there was anything here, just to see a touch more data like back here, just to maybe knock it out a little bit more, just so there's a little bit more separation. But really cool, man. Yeah, it's a cool outfit as well. That's really really nice. Yeah, and I think what you've done so far on that is cool, man. Yeah, it's good stuff. And that's a single light wand. Yeah, nice. Yeah, good. Cats have gone to bed. Yeah. We're almost done. We only got a few more to go for. Yeah. It's just like, we're not waiting for you, Mum. We're going. Turn the light out when you're done. Yeah. So Rusty said LEDs with gels. I was using white LEDs and then using gels on them. Okay. Also the first time trying the Lensgo Smoke Bee handheld smoke machine. Nice. Okay. Shot with the Canon EOS R of 85mm1.2. Nice lens. Yeah, nice. Okay. So this is cool. We can see the 85mm, like, you know, even like the belt here is just drops off immediately, right? You know, even though the eyes are kind of in focus. Yeah, it works well. And using the smoke as well. And I think the smoke really comes into its own when you have light coming from behind the subject. So I think we've got a little bit of red coming from back here, and we can see that flare coming into the lens, which is nice. It's nice that we got this little pocket of light here, the kind of Rembrandt style here. This dark eye that's the only thing that kind of bugs me about this, which is a bit of a pain. Because this is nice to have this little pocket of light here in the eye, but just having this eye sort of lost in the source there a little bit is a pain. But overall, I think it's cool, man. Yeah, I think it's good. Also, nice subtle between this kind of magenta blue on this side and the red on this side is nice as well. It matches the outfit. It's good. Yeah. But yeah, glad you're having fun with the LEDs with gels, and I presume, I don't know the Canon EOS R, if that's a new one, is that like an EVF? So you kind of, what you see is what you get with those? Does anybody know if the EOS R is that mirrorless or not? I don't know. So we've got Anders here. Nice, looking good, man. I did a shoot this weekend with Molly and tried some of the new setups for me. This is a duo chromatic 3-light setup. One blue from above, small umbrella, which also spills over the lower part of the background. Nice. And one magenta from below, bare, strobe pointed at the floor where I had collapsed reflector. Nice. And finally, magenta colors strobe at the upper half of the background. Do you think colors work? I mean, colors look awesome, man. I think the colors look really good. Yeah, really like the, you know, we've kind of been speaking about this as well, like the synergy between light and pose, right, which is what we've got going on here. So not only are you kind of putting the lights in the right place to kind of separate them, but you've also kept in mind like the pose, right? We need to make sure that we're going to have that chin up into that light. There's no point in you setting the lights up and then just having her look forward. So now we have, you know, both lights hitting the front of the face, bringing that chin up, boom. You know, now we have that beautiful clean light on the front of the face here. The other thing that's really nice about this is the separation that we've got. I mean, you're using like this color separation or color blocking as I often call it as well. So here we have like the blue, you've angled it down, so we have the blue down here, but it's not blue behind her. It's kind of this purple directly behind her. So we have this beautiful contrast. You know, we're kind of in that analogous color theory where we're looking at, you know, like the colder colors, like the blues, pinks, purples, in that kind of spectrum, and we're definitely getting away with it here, which is nice. So again, yeah, we have like purple back here at the top, then we have this purple down here at the front, kind of, you know, mirrored, right? And then we have the blue up here at the top and the blue down here at the bottom. So this beautiful kind of symmetry between those two colors. Really strong. Yeah, really strong. It's good, man. Good stuff. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, nothing that really shouts out to me that would need to be kind of tweaked here. The only thing is, it seems like a lot of space in this. I would be tempted to come in a little bit tighter. but personal preference, right? It seems like a lot of empty space here when we've got all these beautiful we've got these really strong geometric shapes in here that we're kind of not really using. So I would be super tempted to come in a lot more than you have done personally, but again, personal preference. Yeah, certainly not right or wrong. Good stuff. Oh, Chris's one. Yeah, I remember this, Chris. Nice. Yeah, clearly inspired by Jake's cinematic workshop. Tried to edit in muted style as I searched for my own looks. But credit to Jake as great scene techniques in order to learn. Yeah, no. So what Chris is referring to here, Chris and I did the cinematic lighting workshop online a couple of weeks back, and he's trying to put into practice some of the things that we kind of went through, and playing with more of a muted color palette, which is what he's going for here, trying to keep that kind of cinematic vibe going with regards to not having anything too crazy like studio lighting wise. Also trying to bring in some lighting elements that are actually in the shot as well. So I think this is good, man. Yeah, I think this is good. I think that I'd be interested to see in terms of the raw from this, Chris, as to how much data we could pull out of the blacks here, because I think this is quite a lot of contrast. I've seen you do kind of similar ones to this, and maybe a little bit less contrast, because we've got these nice muted colors here in terms of the color palette, right? So we got these very complementary, almost like the reds and kind of the greens and stuff here. So nice muted color palette, and sometimes when we do that, we need to kind of think about the contrast. Does the contrast kind of need to be muted from that as well? So I think that's something that you could look at with the raw, as to how much of this we could pull out, right? How much of this black we could pull out. So the muted colors matches the muted contrast, because here we've got muted colors and then we've got bold contrast. So I think it would be nice if we could have a look at trying to bring those two a little bit closer together. I'm pretty confident with the camera that you've got that data is there, if I'm being honest. So I think you could definitely pull that out and knock down the highlight a little bit here, bring up the shadow a little bit here, and I think that could just help to just blend it all nicely in. Yeah. But still really, really nice, really strong lighting, clean lighting as well. Good stuff. Yeah. I want to get one of those handheld smoke thingies. Yeah, they're good. They're really good, Liz. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely really useful on location, and they're still useful in the studio, but only if you're doing kind of shorter, smaller kind of scenes. If you need to be filling up a room, it's just more cost effective to get like a bigger machine. But they're instant. Like you hold it down, and within seconds, smoke starts to come out. So it's super useful. Yeah, I use the Smoke Ninja, from Rotalight. Yeah, really good. Oh, thank you, Jamie. So the EOS R has EVF. So there you go. So yeah, that would be really cool. Start playing with like his Rusty there was playing with the LEDs and the gels. It'd be really cool to see that like live, as it were, to see those colors being activated live with the EVF, like LEDs and EVF. Such a good combination. Yeah. It's first mirrorless from Canon. Oh right, okay, Thomas, thanks. Yeah, so that's the first one, is it? Okay, cool. Yeah, so we're looking at Rusty up here. Yeah, so he's using the mirrorless there. Nice. Okay. Yeah, and like I said, guys, this with LEDs and an EVF. I mean, I don't have an EVF because I'm an old man, but like anybody who's got an EVF camera, mirrorless camera with EVF, and then you couple that with LEDs, I mean, it's borderline cheating, really. It really is so easy. Yeah, it's great. So gone from Liz here, 1920s themed, absolutely nailed it, nice. Using EOS 2 Neo 3 to make the background blue, not looking for critique per se, just what would you maybe do differently? Not looking for critique, but what would you do differently? So I'll try and so I think you've done everything right here. I think you're matching the style with kind of like the makeup, and the pose works well. And I think really we just need to kind of couple that with the final polish and the kind of technology that we're using. So what I mean by that is, like, if you look at like the Netflix show The Crown, right? Like a period piece or anything, any of those period piece dramas or something like that, you know, from, you know, shot a while ago. Like, they're not in there with the Arri Alexa just cranking it at 8K or anything like that. What they're doing is they're having to shoot the whole thing with diffusion filters on the lens. They're trying to knock it all back, right? It just looks ridiculous. If you start shooting period pieces and it's just like everything's like hyper sharp and like, it just looks weird, right? So when they're doing that, they're all shooting like the reason I mentioned The Crown is because I know for a fact that they were using the Lee low contrast filter, the one that I use, over the lens. It's pretty much on there the entire time, just to knock everything back. And I think that, you know, that's something that we can kind of think about when we're doing some of these period pieces or themed pieces like this, is think about, you know, the style that would, or the aesthetics or the final finish on an image that would kind of match that. So I think, you know, using something like that, or I mean, there's even sliders in Lightroom that can kind of help with that, just to take the edge off. Like if you just like negative clarity, I think it's that. Yeah, I think negative clarity would just help to take the edge off some of these modern cameras, and it'll help to give it that look. And again, I think we could maybe afford to, you know, just darken this down a touch as well, only a touch. And again, that's personal preference here. But yeah, just, you know, thinking about how can we kind of couple the overall finish with the style that we're going for. Yeah. Essentially, Liz. Yeah. Essentially, adding that kind of, we have this, you can call it semiotics if you like, but we have this kind of idea in our heads about the way something should look, right? Especially from a time period. And if we kind of mix those, it kind of clashes, right? So here we have this 1920s subject, and I even feel like the makeup is 1920s as well. So I think there's a lot of 1920s in this, but the final piece is 2020, right? And I think we need to kind of merge them together a little bit more, which we can do. Yeah. So using, so I'm using, see this here? So I'm using a filter here. This lens filter is giving me this glow, right? It's just taking the edge off of some of these, especially these bright specular highlights. But can you see this glow here? That's not me doing that in post. That's coming from a lens filter. So it's just kind of giving it this little bit of extra texture to it. So something like that. If you're going to be doing more pieces like this, absolutely get one of those, you know, dream filters or black pro mist or low contrast filters, just to take the edge off, because you've got a beautiful camera and you know, almost too good for this type of look. Yeah. So I was trying to read the name and then I realized I realized it's a company name. So Vivaha Photography. We got Godox LC 500, 2 lights and 1.5 feet ring light. Okay, interesting. So we got this actually nicely kind of retouched here with regards to the skin. You know, it's nice. Yeah, it's looking good. We've got this nice glow on the skin, which is nice. And again, we got a lot of detail in the shadows here, and I kind of like this foreground element here, you know, kind of bringing us in, right? Again, I think you could absolutely afford to come in here, keep that foreground element. I like it. I think we could absolutely afford, maybe go a little bit higher up there, but I think we could absolutely afford to just come in here and get rid of this this weight at the top here, which is kind of a little bit oppressive. But I really like this, you know, foreground element, and just bring us into the shot. But I think like the overall finish you got here in the retouch, I think it's good. It's nice and clean. Skin's got that beautiful glow to it. Yeah, it's nice. It's good. Good stuff. I was looking at a YouTube video of yours regarding a soft filter you used. When I went to the lens filter, none of them were labeled soft filters. So they no longer make those ones, Michael. Yeah. So they stopped production of them. Yeah. Those soft filters. I mean, I love them, but they do give a lot of flare. So let me just see. There's a bunch of them. So this is the low contrast one here. So, okay. So this one actually might show the difference. Did we just crash or? Okay, it's been slow. Okay. So this article here. So this is just a open reflector dish, right? Looking straight to camera. So this is without the low contrast, and this is with. Like, you see what I'm saying? This is what I was saying to was it you, Liz, a minute ago about that vintage style, right? Having this kind of knocking it back a little bit. So again, low contrast. You see how it just opens up these blacks. Oh, there you go. There's the crown there. Okay, and this is just talking about the old school lenses. Talking about do I not compare them in this? Maybe I don't. In one of these articles, yeah, in one of these articles I actually compare them. Oh, here we go. So the diffusion filter here, that's the soft filter that you saw in that video. As you can see, it's really heavy, right? And doesn't spread the light as much. So like the soft filter is great if you want like lens flares and stuff, it is a little bit aggressive. So this is the low contrast filter is a bit more subtle, and it's going to feel a bit more natural. If you want to make your own version of a, I'll just pop this in chat if you're interested. If you want to make your own version of a mist filter, you can do. Let's have a look. So this one here, you can make your own, and it's almost identical, and it literally costs you a few quid. You just buy a UV filter on eBay and then spray some hairspray on it. There you go. You see, this is with the DIY filter. So it's without and then with. So I mean, it does a really good job. Yeah. So if you wanted to play with it yourself, you can do it. It only costs you a few quid. So we got Michael's shot. This is really cool. Yeah, 2 RGB lights to smoke. This is great. Really good, Michael. I love the really strong separation of those two very strong colors there. I think it's nice that you've kept the two colors very, very separate, and that real contrast really jumps out at you. So just strong green behind and then really strong blue in front. Yeah, nicely done. It feels like you may have brought this back quite a bit in post, but this blue was probably a little bit overexposed in camera. It's easily done with colors, but yeah, you just gotta be careful that you don't overdo it with colors in terms of the brightness. It's always better to just underexpose, on the side of underexposing rather than overexposing. Yeah, but really strong. Yeah, nice. And again with this as well, just thinking about that synergy between pose and light, right? I think this is good. Had her head been lent towards the light rather than away from it, probably would have just helped a little bit just to tighten up it, like the lighting on her face, because now the nose shadow is going up the eye, as opposed to had we angled it the other way, then that nose shadow would have gone down the face more, and that would have opened up the light in that eye. But hindsight is 20/20, right? But yeah, just something to keep an eye on. So yeah, I think that's all the images, Jamie. Right? I think that's all the images, unless there was something that got hidden. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Let's have a look. Let's see. Is there anything that got hidden? Oh look! I can't believe it, mate. That's weird. Must be something in the code that hides those. for Jake because he loves monochrome. Wasn't originally planned like this. There is a full color edit, but don't want you to see that. Shot at a friend's studio ages ago. Played around with this and ended up the 1930s Universal Studios horror movie vibe. It does look good, man. Just a bit fun. Still haven't edited test pictures I took from lights. Look, I mean, I appreciate this is a failed color image, but even as a failed color image, it's good. Yeah, it's good. Like this background is bang on as well. Yeah, really cool. Like these little particle effects and the kind of almost tilt shift focusing element here. Yeah. So what James is talking about there, the black mist. Yeah, the black mist is like the low contrast filter. If you were looking specifically for something closer to the soft filter, which they don't really make anymore, then the DIY one I just showed you is far closer to it because it kind of flares out from a point as opposed to evenly distributed. So I think it's worth making one, especially if you've got, but it only really works when you've got light coming into the lens. Yeah, you can't really see it unless you have light coming into the shot. Yeah. That's crazy, man. It's nuts that got hidden. It's bizarre. I think that's everybody's work, right? It's good stuff. Let's give that just a little quick refresh in case we got any stragglers. It's all good. I love you really, Jamie. Let's have a look. That's all good. Who liked it? Tony, you're banned. That's it, mate. You're out. You're done. No more. Right then, guys. Been a pleasure. I'm so sorry about the balls up at the start. I blame Vlad for that. Because he was mentioning the noise gate. So it's definitely Vlad's fault. And I apologise on his behalf. But yeah, thanks for coming back or, sticking around through that 20 minutes of pain in the ass nonsense. Don't forget online workshops. I know I'm still doing a bunch of them with some of you guys, which is a ton of fun. Check those out. We do everything from cinematic to obviously more of the gelled lighting, classic gelled lighting stuff, as well as the more creative projector stuff, which is, the projectors are still so slept on, and we do a lot of like the pastel colors as well as working in small spaces, and of course the long exposure stuff. I did a couple of long exposure ones last week actually. Haven't done them in a while, and then I have two in the same week, so yeah, check those out. Also don't forget the mentoring as well, and I will have a look, see what's involved in there, whether it be business or retouching, a whole bunch of stuff in there, so check that out. I think that is it. And Jamie said I have to tell you to subscribe or something like that, ding the bell or something, he said. I don't know what he's talking about, but yeah, if you want to be notified of when these streams go live and fail and have to go live again, then yeah, ding that the bell wherever that is. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you guys in the next one. I missed any comments there? Hey, no worries, Kat. All good. Hey, no worries, Michael. Yeah, absolutely. I will get that over to you tomorrow. Yeah, no worries. All right, then, guys. Take it easy. Stay safe. Bye.